Hey guys, welcome back to Planet JeJuDa, and it is time for another Reddit Reacts video. And this time I think I'm gonna do nothing but crochet, and I'm just gonna go into our crochet or Reddit crochet and see if there's a couple of stories that I might find interesting. So buckle up and let's see if we can get some crazy stories. All right, so here in the first story, I wasn't really getting anywhere just by looking up crochet. I was getting more patterns and that kind of thing. So I keyed in AI crochet, and this was set 4 days ago, and it is by Lara Land 27, and the headline is Designers / Pattern Makers versus AI / Posers, and in parentheses it says, I post as a stream of consciousness, so please bear with me and try to read the whole post. Thanks. And it is a discussion with AI being such a big thing right now. I mean, it's been a big thing for the last few years, but it's been a really big thing recently. I thought this might be interesting. I don't know what she said here yet, but here we go. I just decided my next project to be a cardigan. I want it to be a little different because I like wearing clothes that are not fast fashion / Walmart / whatever else you can call it. Anyway, long story short, I realized I'd already bought a pattern a few years ago that is exactly what my brain had in mind. Kristen Stein is the designer. I've purchased easily half a dozen of her creations. I've made more than half of them. And besides her aesthetics being very in line with my style, she happens to be the best written pattern bookmaker I have ever had the pleasure to crochet. I'm gonna have to write her down and link her in the description box below. Let me go ahead and do that. Kristen, because I personally have never heard of her. Stein. All right. So I had thought someone here created a Reddit Use the Fiber Stash sub to help those of us who really need to downsize the ever-growing totes and crates and bags of yarn. I know a lot of us rely on written patterns to make our beautiful art, and we all know that there are patterns that are literally garbage or are copies of things that are actually free. So if anyone is willing, I thought it would be a good idea to have separate subs. And in parentheses, she put, they could be for all fiber arts, crochet, knit, Tunisian, etc. Specifically for informing each other of who creates great projects with great tutorials / videos / written patterns versus someone I paid $8 for a 1-row repeat that I could have gotten anywhere. This community has always been very supportive of each other, and everyone always seems to go out of their way to find information for someone who's having trouble. If we had a sub specifically for designers that you've worked their patterns and had really great experiences, and it was all in one place that we could use keywords without having to search and possibly miss something, I personally think it's an awesome idea. I think that if there is valid objective reasoning for someone to avoid due to the laundry list of reasons we would all make, I believe that will be just as helpful. Maybe even have a section of tester requests which is a whole other thing that may need its own sub. In parentheses, I've seen designers questionnaires that are longer than my mortgage. Requirements to send the FO to the designer. Question mark FO. Okay. I'm probably gonna feel stupid. I'm gonna have to look that up. And all manner of things that make you go, thoughts? So, okay, I didn't know exactly what this Reddit was going to be. I was thinking that it had to do with, you know, what your thoughts are on the AI, but I get it now. This person, Laura, is just throwing out the idea for us to create a Reddit to give people a heads up to this pattern, or these people aren't actual designers, it might be AI and whatnot. So I mean, that would be a cool thing. Most of what I do personally, I get from YouTube. So I'm watching somebody, it's not a pattern that I've purchased. So I mean, it's a great idea, a place for what designers are really good and that kind of thing. But let's see what Reddit had to say. First comment is, I like it. There are so many patterns I've had to redesign and rewrite sections of, and in parentheses, especially vintage patterns. And I think it would be great to have a subreddit, at least for testers, who would be willing to test and help people edit their pattern language. And a comment to that was, there is a sub for pros or other pattern writers to find / request pattern testers. Okay, that's cool. And then someone commented, consider sharing this on our crochet patterns, ? And Laura Land 27 responded with, I didn't even know that sub existed. I'm going on vacation in 3 days, so when I come back, I'll revisit the idea. Thanks for letting me know. So, okay, yeah, I mean, would it be cool to have a Reddit to kind of explain how, you know, whether or not these designers are legit or these patterns are fake or whatever? That would be, I think that would be pretty cool. Let me see if I can find another story or Reddit that might be a little not so vague. Well, not that this was vague, more of what I was thinking it was going to be. There we go. There we go. On to the next. All right, so first, I do feel kind of dumb. FO, finished object. At least in the case of what I was just saying, that the designers require the testers to send back the finished object to the designer. There we go. Anyways, moving on. So this one is done by JeJuDa. There you go. I think that's how it's pronounced. Could be wrong. From 3 years ago. And the tagline is Unpopular Opinions About Crochet, and it is a discussion. I am assuming that they are going to say a little blurb and ask what everybody's unpopular opinion about crochet is. So let's find out. Someone made a thread like this in the knitting subreddit, and it was quite a fun read. Was curious about the crochet community and your unpopular opinions. There we go. I'll go first. I think amigurumi or crochet toys or anything that has no utilitarian value are a waste of time and yarn, and generally just dust collectors. Come at me. edit. Disclaimer, please don't take the comments personally. Let's enjoy hearing what everyone wants to get off their chest without calling it toxic, just because it's a different opinion than ours. This community is awesome, supportive, and wholesome. Let's keep it that way. So apparently Chupakistan thinks that origami or crochet toys is a waste of time, space, and yarn. And I mean, I totally can understand that. My husband thinks stuffed animals are a waste of space. So, you know, I wouldn't say that would be necessarily unpopular or uncommon, more so. But anyways, let's see what Reddit has to say and what their unpopular opinions are. So the first one I come to, it says, my unpopular-ish opinion is that it's okay to not become advanced or even intermediate. I make blankets for my house and baby, and I make scarves. I use single or double crochet. I can also make socks and beanies, and I'm perfectly happy with that. At some point, I might venture into mittens or sweaters, but I'm happy to just be a beginner forever because it's fun. I also have never used a pattern because I can't figure out how to read them. I just wing it. That kind of sounds like me. I wouldn't say that's unpopular, because I can agree. You know, that sounds like me. Somebody commented to that, and they said, the point of doing things is not to be good at them. It is to have a nice time. And that is definitely true. And we don't have to be good at our hobbies. Good idea. Good idea. Someone else commented, I can make advanced stuff, but I'd rather make a giant granny square. Hello. I'm doing that right now as we speak, although I haven't worked on it in a while. All right. Here is another unpopular opinion. I will never sell things I make because when it goes from being a hobby to a job. Let me reread that. Oh my goodness. I will never sell things I make because then it goes from being a hobby to a job. So what if I just want to make 8,000 beanies while I binge something on Netflix? I mean, there's a lot of people that don't want to sell what they make. Not necessarily because they don't want it to be their job. Some people just don't want to repeat making stuff. And so, I mean, to each their own as far as I'm concerned. Someone commented underneath that, said this: I can't tell you how many times people get bent out of shape when I turn them down after they tell me to make an Etsy. And in quotes she put, it's all about the grind. Like, no, let me just enjoy my hobby. Not everything has to be a grind. And that is so true. And someone commented under that, this: let me make unsellable, weird monstrosity, soft sculptures in peace. This isn't about making money. It's about burning as much of it as I can. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. So, all right, here's another opinion. Why is 100% cotton slightly hard to find? Like, I've found plenty, so it's not extremely rare, but so many yarns that advertise as being cotton are a mix. Like Lion Brand, sorting by fiber, you get 25 yarns, and I think only 3 to 5 are just cotton. So many blends. I just want nice 100% cotton in pretty colors. Cakes even would be great. P.S. If anyone has resources, please give. Okay, and someone commented, yes, I agree with this. I feel like if you want anything besides acrylic, you have to search online. I mean, I can understand that because, I mean, literally acrylic is all I have access to tangible in a store where I can look at it, pick it up, and feel it and whatnot. There is cotton, but it's limited, and it's literally only one brand. Now, granted, my closest store, which is Walmart, really only sells one brand of acrylic yarn, and that is obviously Red Heart. But there is Lion Brand, I believe, and there is one other. And then, of course, they sell their own basics, their own brand. And as far as cotton goes, it is literally just, I want to say Lily Sugar and Cream. So, there you go. Let's see, is there another opinion? Okay, let's see. I'm all for people being paid fairly for labor, time, materials, and complexity when making finished crochet products, but a surprising amount of finished products I've seen just aren't particularly sellable, even to crowds that appreciate the value of handmade goods. I think people are too quick to conclude that someone's product aren't selling because buyers don't value handmade crochet. Buyers are too cheap, and so on. To conclude that it's the buyer's problem for not wanting a good when it might be partly, in parentheses, or mostly, on the seller too. To list a few examples, wonky stitches, noticeably uneven tension, and work that's generally pretty messy, especially if the booth next door is run by someone whose work is a lot neater. Crochet toys that don't look like they're kid safe. Amigurumi with safety eyes, I'm looking at you. For wearables, items made from extremely itchy yarn, items made from yarn that doesn't look like it will last a single wash, or items that look flimsier than they should be. Okay, I can hear that. Someone commented underneath that, said, I'd rather spend hours making wonky crochet work for myself than pay a large amount of money for someone else to make wonky crochet for me. There are a lot of delusional artists in the crochet community, in my opinion. I get wanting to make some pocket money off of a hobby. I'd love to do that too. Please just make sure the quality is top notch first. And I get that. Same goes for Patternmakers. No, I'm not going to pay 10 euros, I'm not sure, for your sweater pattern that consists of 4 squares of 2 different sized shapes, 2 different sizes slapped together. Especially if it's just solid single crochet or double crochet. I get that it's a good beginner project, but it's not worth the money when you can say make 2 squares of the size of this size and 2 of this size, attach the pieces together as shown, and include a drawing that'll take 2 minutes to do. And people who make very simple or unoriginal things and then complain when people figure out how to make it themselves without purchasing the item / pattern, maybe make something worth buying instead. And someone commented under that, I always worry that people will think I stole their patterns because I often see cool ones and then just decide I can probably figure it out myself. Okay, let's see, is there... And there's people that keep going on. I think that might be it. Oh, here we go. Last one. My unpopular opinion is that yarn barf and splices in a skein aren't that big a deal. In parentheses, usually, obviously, there are times when it may be a little ridiculous. Just fix it and carry on. Right? I mean, it does depend, I guess. I know, it isn't as big a deal as some people make it out to be. It is what it is, and you definitely just carry on. Someone commented underneath there, said splices can be okay. It really winds me up when it's a yarn with a color gradient and there's a join halfway through, trying completely non-matching ends together, or tying completely non-matching ends together. So you either put up with an ugly sudden color change or waste a load of yarn trying to get to the next bit where the gradient follows on. Alrighty, there we go. There were some unpopular opinions. Now let's find something cute, crazy. I don't know. Let's see. Alrighty, we are fastly approaching summer, and so I thought I'd look up something that was summer related, and this watermelon girl, fresh off the hook, serving summer in every look, pink, green, and ready to twirl, sweetest fruit in the crochet world. That is absolutely adorable, and she's so cute. Look at those little boots. Watermelon hat, watermelon dress, watermelon boots. That's absolutely adorable. If I can find the pattern, that will be linked in the description box below. Let's see. Oh, and she did give full, it looks like full watermelon add-on. She gave website, Ravelry, everything, doll body pattern, everything. So Crafty Intentions is the person who designed this, it looks like. I'll have to look that up, really, for sure. But she is absolutely adorable, because it does, let's see, the link that she posted, which I will post all the links as well, goes directly to her shop. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. That is so cute. I'm in her link. And okay. Yes, I will definitely be posting her link in the description box below. There are no comments. I am surprised. This was posted 9 days ago. And there's no comments. That's crazy, because that is absolutely adorable and totally perfect for your favorite little girl's summer needs. Absolutely 100%. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a little wonky, if you ask me, but okay. Just like crochet, it doesn't have to be perfect, even though I'm trying to sell it to you. Anyways, moving on. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I would love it if you would hit the like button. And if you'd like to be notified of any and all future uploads, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click all on the notification bell. And with that, remember, gravity works, guys.